What's going on, guys? Jonathan3703 here with your 2025 October Course of Fire. I'm going to have a match on October 4th. Hopefully we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you in leaderboards. Let's get some stages. All right, we're kicking things off with Levi's ladder. We have the KYL rack at 40 yards, and we're going to do this thing. It's been a while, in my opinion, that we've had multiple engagements on the same target. So this is really refreshing. You'll see a lot of that in this particular Course of Fire. Of course, with the KYL, it's a little bit tricky because you do want to wait for those targets, because they're so small, to steady up before you take your follow-up shot. But the good news is, once you take one shot, and once you pull your second shot, rather, you can go ahead and move on and transition to your next position. The positions can be reused. So I'm just going between rung 3 and rung 2. Those are the ones that are most comfortable for me. But pretty standard stuff. The only trick is the last position that you have to make is prone. So your rifle handling skills will definitely come into play. You can see I'm kind of rocking it off to the side so I can go ahead and get my bag in, clear the bipod, you're good to go. A little bit of practice will go a long way to make sure you don't knock your bag off into oblivion onto the abyss. So, pretty standard stuff. We'll wait for that target to get steady. Go ahead and break that shot right there. And then we'll go ahead and go down to our prone position. So this should be nice and cake right here. This for your number 4 KYL and your number 1 KYL. Levi's ladder. I like it a lot. That's 10 for 10 or 10. All right, so the next stage is Darren's dual drums. And this isn't too far from something I was just kind of dreaming up myself. We're going to be shooting up, so that's your bottom, then your top, like we mentioned before in the last video. And then we're just going to be doing a bunch of double taps. 2 strings on the lower target, and we're alternating the barrels back and forth. So this one's actually pretty simple. I kind of debated on saying this for several videos, but the reality is I'm just a guy with a mic and a camera and a gun trying to make impacts, just putting it on YouTube and Facebook for other people to enjoy. I have no affiliation with the NRL22 other than being just a member who shoots and a match director. I'm not on the advisory board or anything like that. Although if you need some help, holla at me, NRL22. I'm real passionate about this whole sport and empowering the sport. But I'm just a guy with a camera trying to make impacts. A lot of this is game film for me, and there are some shooters at local clubs around here that's like, hey, Jonathan, you didn't do a video. We really like your videos. So it's a lot of fun for me, and I'll use this as game film to see if my program really works the way I want it to. So in the second half of the Course of Fire, we'll be switching to strings on the small target. And for the very last engagement right here, we'll be shooting down, top to bottom. That's your small target, and then your large target for the last 2 impacts. I pulled that one right there. I am shooting that old Norma Tac 22, but dropping one, not too bad at all. All right, this is Thompson's tank trap and tripod. Probably my favorite stage here because I haven't shot off the top of the tripod in quite some time. You have a little bit of X pattern action going on with your 100-yard target. So we're on the left side, shooting right, and then we'll be moving to the top of the tripod. So here's my question, and I hadn't seen Jeramy's video yet. Can we put a tack table on the top of the tripod for all the shooters to use? Me as an MD, I think I'm going to go for it, but at your club, leave in the comments what you think. Do you think that's a good idea to remove the ball head, leave a pole, tack table? Not sure, so. I don't know if that's an impact or not. I can watch the tape. Going for the 50-yard, double check your parallax. And you'll notice here, I aimed high on the target to cheat it. I got made fun of at one of my local matches by saying, oh, your impacts are high, but there's really more meat on the target up there. And if there's fresh paint, you can get yourself a free win call. I think it's all fair and good. So, you know what? If you can shame it, I can game it. But I think it's valid. Now, this hit right here it ran low. It hit the stem, but it ran low. And now we got one centered up. Shooting some practice ammo, so Not all of it's going to go where you aim it, but it does all right. You can rim fire from time to time.
Impact.
Break that final shot. Oh, dropped 2. But so far on the stage, it's pretty good. Oh, this is our last stage. Nothing rhymes with Jeremy. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. You know what rhymes with Jeremy? Therapy. And for some clarity, in all sincerity, this stage was actually pretty fun. It's a little cryptic somewhat because you got your target orders, but if you think, hey, we're stepping it in, evens first, so that'd be 2 and 4, and then odds, which is 3 and 1. Double tapping these 1 time a piece, so you definitely want to wait for those targets to stop wiggling. And then you perform your magazine change and step it on out. So if you find yourself not changing your magazine, what I would do is I'd force this. I would load my primary magazine with 8 rounds. And if you get a chamber 9th round, you'll go on an empty chamber, which is going to force you to go to your magazine, to your next magazine. It's going to, and then do some head change so you don't forget. So we'll run these last 4 for a clean run. 66.40. So Susie, Slope Surface, and Sawhorse. This is really reminiscent of one of the stages we've done before where we shoot peak, center, and then foot of the rooftop. I like it. It's a 65 yard target. It's an inch and a half, so you gotta respect it a little bit. But it really shouldn't be too hard. Once you gather your information from your first initial shots, you should be able to go and kill the rest of these. Now, I'm a bag guy. I tried the bipod thing, and I know it has its place. It's probably a skill I really need to develop. But to me, a bag is a whole lot easier to level, especially when you're moving from transition to transition. Speaking of transitions, this stage did not say you had to shoot it in a particular order. When I first read it, I thought you had to shoot it in the order in which they list the positions, but really, what works best for you? So I just did my easy 3 first, and then drop down here. This is my surrogate shelf. At least that's what we're doing for my match. It'd be, if I was going to build a shelf, it'd be that height anyway, so I don't think it's 2 impacts right there, and then moving to the last position that we haven't used. And this final position will wrap up our course of fire. I thought this was a pretty easy course of fire. It offers a lot for redemption as far as if you break a shot, it doesn't work out, you can take a follow-up shot, and that's something we hadn't seen on some of the courses of fire lately. So that'll do it. All right, guys, that was your 2025 October course of fire that I just ran through. It's a lot of fun. If we think about it, there are several things that have kind of come back to revisit us, namely the rooftop stage, how it's turned sideways and we do it the peak, the middle, and the foot. That was pretty good. If you didn't get enough of the Sawhorse last month, we're back at it again. So don't drop your impacts there. It's an 1.5 inches at 65. So respect the target. What else do we have? Prone stage is pretty neat. The order is a little strange, but as long as you have your parallax and your dope really good, everybody should be running through that. Don't drop impacts. Make sure you get all your hits because that could come back to bite you. What else do we have? Oh, the tank trap. I love this design. I don't know who came up with it, but it's awesome. It's been a while since we shut off the tripod. The one thing about shooting off the tripod that I want to bring to your attention is there's a little bit of a wobble this way. I went directly on top of the ball head with my OG and heavy fill. It was pretty stable, but I feel like I could be a little bit more stable if I had like a tack table. I don't know if that's on or off the board yet because I hadn't watched Jeramy's video yet. But if I can put a tack table on that thing, nobody should have any problems. So you're shooting crossways. My targets, these are my personal targets, so they're hollowed out a little bit. They tend to spin around, but the ones I'm actually gonna use at the competition, they don't wiggle as near as much. But try not to get tilted. If you have a precision match timer app or MDT Crush It, or if you just happen to get your hands on one of the Pulse Pros 2s early, whatever timekeeping device you have, that's really gonna help you make the determination whether you should let it stop wiggling or go ahead and take the shot. So that's pretty much it. The barrel stage, pretty simple. Like I said last month, you can either be shooting up or down, depending on if you have it snowman style or not. We always do here. So your first salvo is going to be shooting up, then doubles till the very last salvo where you'll be shooting down. That's pretty standard stuff. And the ladder. When I first read the ladder stage, I didn't realize that they said that you can reuse positions. I thought we were going to have to make 4 unique positions for each KYL pedal, which would have been crazy. So I just chose rung 2 and 3. Take your time. Very first time I ran it, I had my bipod off and I put it on. I had time on the clock to do so. But really, because some of your other engagements are happening while it's spinning, you definitely have time to adjust. So, but break that second shot when you move and transitioning from target to target. Go ahead and break the second shot and move on. So I think that is going to do it. October is a special month. I know there's plenty of Halloween lovers out there, but it is the 6th month of NRL22 competition, which means that by the end of October, the leaderboard is going to show 600 somewhere. And from what I understand, they took about 70 competitors rather, on the open side for monthly, and that's where I'm at. So I think it's going to be extremely tight. We're halfway into the season. This course of fire should post some high scores. And I can't speak for everybody else, but rimfire in the southeast, everybody's getting better, significantly better. And the courses of fires are getting harder. So this goes out to the new viewers and the new competitors. Don't be discouraged because it wasn't always this hard. Everybody's just gotten good. So, and if you get a chance, go see an X match. I will be having a night match here on November 22nd. I'll post some more information about that, but one of the reasons why I wanted to do it's twofold. One is I want to get some practical practice in before I go to Levi's night match before Christmas match, which sold out in I think 18 minutes. And because it sold out in 18 minutes, I wanted to provide a opportunity that's kind of similar in nature for people who couldn't make that match. So other match directors out there, please sub to the channel, watch the video when I got it, because it's going to kind of describe how I set this up. It's pretty simple, but that's that. It's a good time to be in precision rimfire, especially the NRL22. So we'll see you later, guys. We'll see you at the match on October 4th, or we'll see you on the leaderboards. Guys, take care.